Hey everyone, Tony here. So you've probably heard already that the Mets agreed to a $75 million 5-year contract with Japanese pitcher Kodai Senga. So I want to show you guys some of the few Kodai Senga cards that I have and talk a little bit about him. So here's my earliest card, Senga. He was technically a rookie in 2012, although he only pitched a couple games. Here's a second-year card from 2013. So he pitched a little bit more in 2013, but not a whole lot again. So I'll show you a 2014, same deal here. So basically, Senga, his first few years in baseball, he didn't really start in earnest. He pitched a little bit and didn't really start. He started in earnest, I would say, in like 2016, I think, if I remember looking at his stats. So here's a 2014 BBM. And then, so this is still before he was really much of a starter. So a little about Senga, showing you guys a 2019. This is a Colby title holder card. This is from as I said, 2019. A little bit of nice shine on there. So this is commemorating him being the strikeout leader for the Pacific League strikeout leader for 2019. And I believe, if I remember right, he had 227 strikeouts that season, which is pretty impressive if you consider that the Japanese season is about 30 or so games fewer than a major league season. So that's a handful of starts right there. So anyway, a little bit about Senga in general. At this point, he's a little old coming over, although he's pretty standard free agent age. He's 29. He's got a high 90s heater. He's touched 102. He's got a curveball, and like most Japanese pitchers, he also throws a splitter. So yeah, the Mets. I mean, he's slotting in there, almost certainly at number 3 on the Mets rotation behind Scherzer and Verlander, or Verlander and Scherzer. The number 1 there, I don't know. That's a pretty nice problem to have if you're the Mets. So anyway, here's a 2021 Senga. So anyway, Senga is known for wanting to come to the major leagues. Pretty badly for the last few years. Unfortunately for him and for us, his team, the Fukuoka Hawks, never honored his request. The team has a policy against the posting system. They don't post their players to major league teams. I certainly can't hold that against them. That's well within their right to do. But hey, even though he couldn't come to the major leagues as early as he wanted to, Senga had himself quite a career with the Hawks. He was part of most of the Hawks' 2010s dynasty. I should say more so a period of 10 years where the Hawks, I believe, won 7 Japan Series championships in 10 years. Senga was on the team for 5 of them. So that kind of dynasty, that level of dominance, hasn't really been seen in Japanese baseball or baseball in general since the sort of like Sadaharu O, Nagashima Giants, who basically won every year. So the Hawks definitely, they're a little on the decline, or so it seems, but so, like I said, at least Senga had himself quite a career with the Hawks, even though he wasn't allowed to play in the major leagues as early as he would have liked. I believe when it was all, so now it's all said and done in Japan, Senga won I think his record's around, I want to say, 87 and 44, 2.5 something ERA, 1,200 strikeouts. So yeah, I mean, he definitely profiles well as a frontline major league starter. And of course, on the Mets, he'll be the number 3 guy, probably, which is, no pressure, and I don't mean that ironically, right? Like, that's a pretty nice situation for him to go into. So anyway, here's some of my recent cards, 2022 BBM first version. Now, another little thing down here, this is a small thing, but I guess I'll just bring it up. You'll notice that Senga's name on these cards is spelled with a U. It's Koudai. But I've noticed that the American media, especially in light of his move, and so there have been, various stories about him, they spell it Kodai without the U. So I don't know what the sort of standard alphabet spelling of his name will end up being. You saw this a little bit. You might know that the first American Shohei Ohtani card, the 2017 Bowman Megabox card, his name is spelled just Otani without the H. So this is kind of a similar thing. The reason this happens is that Japanese has slightly long vowels compared to a very similar sounding shorter vowel. So the U and the H, for example, in Otani are kind of supposed to, they sort of represent that it's a long vowel. Sometimes you'll see this written as a little line over the letter. So, for example, it might be Kodai with like a little line over the O, right? And sometimes this is hard for me to distinguish with my ear. It's definitely not, it's not always easy to pick up on the sort of slightly long. So I'll do my best here, even though this aspect of my own Japanese is not the best. I will admit it's not Otani, it's Otani. So it's not Kodai, it's Kodai. So there's a small little yeah. Anyway, enough about that. So here's I'm actually going to take this out of the top loader. So I got this from 2022 Genesis. This is I guess, I don't know what you'd call it. It's parallel. So these are usually gold on the sides, but this one is numbered to 50, and it's kind of a silver parallel. I'm not sure why that could definitely focus up a little better, but anyway, so as you can see, it's numbered to 50 on the back there. All right, Kodai Senga, let's see what he can do in the major leagues next season, or I guess this coming season. I'm not sure if he'll pitch in the WBC. Probably, if he's allowed. I guess at this point, if the Mets allow him. Anyway, that's all from me, guys, as always. Thanks for watching. Peace.